Hi, Collective. I've decided to start March's readings with an overall general collective reading between divine masculine and divine feminine energy. This is a timeless message, but I am putting it out the beginning of March 2022. It's Pisces season. Neptune has a strong impact on relationships. And what I see here is that it's having, I think, a positive impact on two different people. So this isn't necessarily about people in union or out of union. You could be together, you could be separated, you could even be single, and you may need to just know where your partner is or where your divinely chosen person is on their journey versus your journey. Masculine is here, feminine is here. The energy between the two of you overall is integrity and fate. I also have abundance at the bottom of the deck. Time apart is here as well. So with abundance coming out, you've done the work. Abundance flows to you now. Some of you are masculine, some of you are feminine. Both feminine and masculine are experiencing a time of abundance, or they are focused on abundance. They may be apart right now. Some distance may also be necessary for clarity. And right now, I think you're really assessing the moral structure of yourselves and of your relationship. Does this situation align with your morals and values and fate? This is a destined partnership. You are feeling like you are being lined up with that which is meant for you. This is the year of the lovers, and Spirit will help us figure out if our morals or values will line up with the morals and values of others around us in all situations in life. You're both thinking a lot about your morals and what you place value on. And are you in alignment with those things yourself? Are they in alignment? This partnership does seem very fated. Let's start with the masculine's energy. I started with the masculine's energy over here. I used 3 different tarot decks and 2 different oracle decks. Out of the Morgan Greer Tarot, overall energy for the divine masculine is Justice, which is Libra energy, the 6 of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Hermit, Virgo. They could have Libra or Virgo in their chart. First of all, I heard something really cool off of this. I feel like this masculine is being influenced by the Piscean energy and the Neptune energy. Neptune is this giant dreamy gas planet, and it does teach us to dream big and get in touch with our intuitive side, our psychic side, our emotional side. But Neptune doesn't want you to live in a fantasy. Neptune wants you to make your dreams real, your big dreams real. It also teaches you that glamour is an illusion and not all that glitters is gold. And I can see here that the masculine has brought a lot of balance into his life. He may have dealt with some consequences recently of some kind and faced truth. And moving into calm waters after Justice is the masculine at this time, with a lot of balance, moving away from conflict, loss, and change. He is ready for love, and he's searching his soul about quite a bit. This is an older, wiser person. I think at this time, the masculine wants to go off and think about his moral integrity and what he places value on, and what his morals are. I also hear very strongly that this masculine may have a Chiron, part of fortune, or North Node that is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. In particular, I heard the North Node. Because for him, if he has Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in the North Node, this is stepping outside of a comfort zone for him to a degree, or sometimes that's what's said of the North Node, but it's usually the underdeveloped part of our personality. I think in the past that the masculine has gotten consequences for being, I actually heard that in the past the masculine was a bit of a doormat and a savior and a saint to a lot of other people. And I think he put himself last. I see that he's gotten some consequences for that probably were in his favor. And he's transmuting a lot of knowledge and turning it into wisdom at this time. This isn't easy for him because in the untold truth of the masculine's heart, a little bit of back and forth energy. We have avoiding memories, drifting, and new beginning. These 2 cards came out together, boom, boom, avoiding memories. The masculine has memories that he is trying to push away. He has bittersweet memories, dwelling. He has a tendency to dwell and reminisce, and Pisces season will do that to you. He is trying to avoid this, though. I think that with drifting, slowly parting, disconnecting, and detaching to new beginning, new direction, fresh start, and chance, I can see that the masculine is letting go of his past. And he very much wants to go in some sort of new direction in his life. But with memories, he's had to avoid them. It's a slow parting of ways. And that's not easy because he's learning a lot. But he does want to go in a new beginning. He really does want to go in a new direction. They wanted me to use the Halloween Oracle deck for feminine and masculine. What came out for the masculine is Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy, but Skull of Darkness, blind spots. This guy is looking for his part of the fortune. He is probably getting into his part of fortune, which is a part of our tropical natal chart where we experience success and abundance, where we get our quite literal part of the fortune, our slice of the pie, our slice of the cake. And the Barmbrack is an ancient ritual done in Celtic times where they put different objects in the cake, and depending on what slice you got, sort of foretold your fortune. They did it around the Halloween time. This guy does want to experience his slice of happiness in life. I think that based on what I see here in the tarot, he is very focused on abundance and putting in hard work as well. But he has some blind spots. There are some things that he may need pointed out to him by someone around him that he trusts. That could be the feminine, or that could be someone else in his life. When it comes to success, money, leaving a legacy behind, his past and his future, he may need a little bit of advice, because blind spots even speaks to needing to go see a therapist or maybe a financial advisor. I just heard something about taxes as well. This guy does have some stuff that needs to be illuminated for him. And I think that there are times because the Hermit was here with justice, that he may withdraw from that. I think that, yes, he may have gotten some consequences in his past for some decisions that weren't smart. I heard very strongly that because he's the King of Cups, he may have been too generous in his past, and he's learning to be a true King of Cups, which is very emotionally diplomatic, very emotionally mature. The King of Cups is not a doormat. He's like, look, I don't chase anybody. I'm here when you want me, and I have a lot of love to give. I'm very compassionate, as opposed to being, a codependent empath. This is still a bit of a struggle for him at times. I'm hearing very strongly that the feminine may see, if they're in union with one another or coming into union, she may see this about him, and it may concern her at times. I also hear that the feminine does not want to take advantage of the masculine's generous nature because he got consequences for that in his past. Interesting. A lot of downloads just came through. So the masculine is seeing, the overall energy for the masculine is death. The way he's feeling is the King of Cups. So I've had the King of Cups come out twice. But the way he sees himself is the Six of Cups. Yeah, there's those past memories that he's avoiding but trying to drift away from. What you need to know about him is the Seven of Cups. And the final outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. This looks pretty good. I see a person really working on something here because the overall energy is death. There could have been a Scorpio involved in his life. I'm loving the feeling of death here. Out of the ashes, the phoenix does rise, and clarifying death is the Three of Wands, the Lovers. Here it is. Year of the Lovers, 2022, baby, and the Emperor. Wow. This man has been undergoing, it could be a woman too. Sometimes women identify as masculine. I'm sorry, I'll just use masculine and feminine. This masculine sees himself as undergoing transformation. This has been very subtle. This has been very Plutonian. This has been an ongoing process for him. He very much wants to focus on the future at this time. He wants to come into alignment with his perfect match. And the Lovers, Gemini does teach us about morals and values lining up, harmony and love. Match made in heaven, the Emperor, where he has a lot of control over himself. A proud man is what I just heard. Very strong. That's absolutely gorgeous. The way he's feeling right now is the King of Cups. Justice came out again as well. Justice and the King of Cups have come out twice. He's feeling the King of Cups. Clarifying the King of Cups is Justice, the Five of Pentacles, and the Star. This is why I think the masculine might have been overly generous to others in the past. And I think that maybe he went through a divorce, or he might have made some kind of a business deal that left him a bit out in the cold financially. He may have overcome something that he had to deal with in a court of law. He is healing. He is healing. He has a big heart. He sometimes maybe is dealing with the consequences of having low self-esteem as well with the Five of Pentacles here. He has felt left out in the cold in the past, but he has not given up hope. This Aquarius energy here of a lot of renewal and a lot of faith. I do think the masculine feels as though he has a lot of balance in his life. But this King of Cups, I'm an air sign. I don't know how water signs do it. I mean, my moon is in Cancer, but that's always been a problem for me. It's difficult. I'm feeling this King of Cup energy. Like, this is hard for him. Learning, I feel as though this masculine has learned how to be a master of the emotional realm through trial and error, through consequences, through having to make difficult choices, going through difficult things that left him out in the cold. But he is now going through a healing process. He is experiencing a feeling of renewal, and he has hope. He has a lot of hope here. With Death and the Star coming out and Justice, I feel like karma is being righted and balanced for him. I feel like the way he sees himself, though, is his sticking point and his blind spot. I feel as though this masculine drifts back into his past. I think his MO right now is to avoid it, but there's still these memories that he's slowly cutting ties with, which is why Death is here, because it's a slow process. And it's almost like he can't help it. He is an emotional person. I just heard he's a really watery guy. Okay. Underneath the Six of Cups is the King of Wands, the Magician, and Strength. I think that this masculine is trying really hard to be passionate and a passionate leader and a grand visionary. The King of Wands is the grand visionary. It's a Sagittarius energy. It's a very benevolent, passionate leader. He looks very serious in this deck, too. He does have a plan. So does the feminine, by the way. There is some similar energy going on. And he's trying really hard to be strong. Sag energy, Aries, and Leo energy here. He may be recalling a time in his life when he was a little bit more virile, when he felt like he had all the answers and he had more power. He may recall a time in his life where he let his ego lead him as well, but he got what he wanted. But I feel like underneath the past here with the Six of Cups and the bittersweet memories, it is fueling him to be more dynamic, to be a strong leader, and to have strength of character as well. Really has a plan for himself, but he's got to let this King of Cups and the King of Wands take the stage when they need to. It's like a part of him is very emotional, but then this part of him is very passionate as well and visionary. What you need to know about the masculine is the Seven of Cups. Here's definitely that Pisces energy. Clarifying this is the Fool, the Hermit, and the Moon. Oh, the masculine definitely wants this new beginning. But I think he's a little emotionally overwhelmed. I think he has cyclical emotions here with the Pisces or Cancer moon. And I think he searches his soul quite a bit. I think the masculine wants to recapture something about himself that's very authentic with the Fool. But with the Seven of Cups, the Hermit, and the Moon, at this time, he might not really know what that is or where he's going, or even what choice to make. He's a little overwhelmed, but he will take the leap of faith. He will allow himself time to make the right choices in life. He has some choices in front of him. And it's like a part of him is pulled into this sort of careless, naive innocence and silliness even. But then this other part of him is like, wait, it's like the hermit is the fool's guide. Like, where are you going, young man? Come with me. Listen to your emotions. Find the untapped hidden potential within you. The masculine might be wandering in this sort of jubilant energy that's, he's not sure if it's real or not all the time. Very emotional side. Very emotional side. And his final outcome at this time for March is the Knight of Pentacles. Well, slow and steady wins the race. He's not going to step too far outside of a comfort zone at this time, but he will put one foot in front of the other. I feel like there's work to be done. And I think that the masculine is going to take a conservative, predictable approach in life, because I have the 8 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. Well, I like this Knight of Pentacles then. I like him a lot. The Knight of Pentacles sometimes has a hard time walking away from the past. Now, this guy has high expectations for himself, or this masculine does. Sometimes the Knight of Pentacles expects perfection, and it will go over and over something until it gets it just right. He's definitely working on something to a level of mastery. I don't think the masculine is necessarily standing back at this time to even look at his own accomplishments. He's just putting one foot in front of the other and carrying a heavy burden. He carries quite a bit on his own. With the 10, these 3 cards in and of themselves tell me that this masculine is a sustainer, and he can withstand a lot. He will move slowly and work hard and carry a lot on his own. He's very close to completing something. With the 9 of Pentacles, he has very high expectations of himself as well, in particular financially. And we did see that card of abundance. And I think he's working on this alone right now. He's working through a lot. At the bottom of his clarifying deck, though, I have the 5 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, the Hierophant, but the Ace of Wands and the 9 of Wands. Okay, the Hierophant might be family or just the system in general. Last year was the year of the Hierophant, where we had to play by a lot of rules. And I think COVID restricted us in a lot of ways. And the Hierophant, which is sometimes like the man, the government, our family, our tradition, our roots, the way things have always been done as well. I think his cultural influence and his spiritual upbringing is influencing him heavily right now. He might have had a Taurus in his life that broke his heart. He is still overcoming some disappointment. He may have disappointed family as well and broken their hearts, or a past relationship. But with the Ace of Wands here, he's ready for passionate new cycles in his life. I also see the 9 of Wands looking back at the Hierophant, and I just heard, I can make my own rules. Knight of Swords, he has something to prove. His energy is going to have an upswing soon. I just heard in a few months. The feminine. A lot of feminine energy came out. Queen of Swords, the Empress, Queen of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. First of all, the feminine could have a lot of female energy surrounding her at this time. She could be any one of these queens. I feel as though she has strong feminine guides at this time as well. She, like the masculine, is used as carrying the 10 of Wands, carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. It's interesting here. I feel like the feminine leads with the sword, stiff upper lip. I've been through some shit. I expect the truth. I protect my heart. I don't open up easily. The Empress has a lot of responsibilities, a lot. Very creative, very loving. Comes up with very creative solutions as well. And she's also very emotional. We're seeing a lot of different sides. The Empress is the queen of all queens, and she can throw any queen she wants at any moment. And I think she leads with this sort of discernment. And the truth is, like the masculine, she's very emotional too. And she carries her burdens emotionally in a lot of ways. They're telling me there's not much more to say about that. Okay. The feminine's oracle cards are Jack-o'-lantern, protection, but then also Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity. Well, here's the Queen of Swords energy. She's going to protect herself at this time. I think she feels the need to mirror bullshit back to other people in her life. I feel like with the Ten of Wands and the Empress and the Queen of Cups, she has to take care of a lot on her own, and she knows that this makes her vulnerable from time to time. So the Jack-o'-lantern is like the Queen of Swords energy, where she just stands up for herself and protects herself. She's going to shield herself from negative energy at this time. She'll spook the spooks if necessary. Also, with the Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity, and this came out in the Feminine's tarot. The feminine is looking for new opportunities in her life. She's looking for an opportunity that will bring her fortune. The masculine seems to be working on it. I feel as though the feminine is trying to enact some new strategies in her life that will bring her good luck and good fortune. Heightened awareness and intuition, Scorpio energy here with these eyes. The untold truth of the feminine's heart, pretend, apprehensive vows, and the spiritual connection. My goodness. Well, I think that the feminine with protection coming out and pretend, mask, exaggeration, bluff, pretend. I think the feminine puts on a good show sometimes. I think the feminine feels the need to hide some things from the world in general right now. Sometimes we do wear a mask. I think that there are times that she may bluff. She may even bluff with the masculine. That Queen of Swords will bluff it a little bit, like she won't let anybody see her sweat. And she'll hide the Queen of Cups underneath, which is more sensitive and more emotional and carrying a lot. I just heard the feminine say, I don't want anyone to see my weaknesses. Oh, I understand, my dear. Also very guarded and cautious, very calculated at this time. She may be afraid to step into serious commitment, but she does still want it with commitment, promises, and fidelity. And the spiritual connection. She's very ready for deep love. She's very ready to come into alignment with a soulmate. She does want unity. It's like she wants vows in the spiritual connection, but at the same time, she's apprehensive and she hides it. Classic. That's a woman that's been through some shit, right? Definitely. So the overall energy for the feminine is the Star. The way she's feeling is the Nine of Wands. Yep, she's totally guarded. The way she sees herself is death and the Wheel of Fortune. The masculine through death as well. Hidden factors about her are the Four of Swords, and the final outcome for the feminine is the Magician. There's that Black Cat, fortune meeting opportunity. The feminine, I can see overall, is hanging in there and really wants change to come into her life this year. She, like the masculine, is very hopeful. Very hopeful because she is the Star. Her energy is the Star. She has hope. She has faith. With the Star coming out for both of them, this is like distant dreams coming true, the water bearer energy. Underneath the Star is the Hierophant, the Emperor, and the Nine of Cups. She has high hopes for commitment. And with the Hierophant here and the Emperor and the Nine of Cups, it's like, this is the Lenormand tarot, by the way. The imagery is different from regular tarot. I think that she wants to bring a masculine home to her family and a masculine that she could be proud of. I think she wants a lot of unity. I think she wants a serious partnership. I think like the masculine, she does want a lot of control. She's throwing some Emperor energy as well and really wanting wish fulfillment. Just live, laugh, love in the moment. She wants to share her life with loved ones and friends. Yeah, that's very important to her right now. And she has a lot of hope for it. But the way she feels these days is the Nine of Wands. Life is a battlefield. She's hanging in there. I think that life is a test of faith and boundaries for her right now. Clarifying this is the Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man. Here's Pisces energy coming out for her. And the Seven of Wands. I feel as though with the Seven and the Nine of Wands, there are times when the feminine feels sort of strung up here. And she has no choice but to pause and surrender. There are sacrifices that she is needing to make. She has to let go and see things from a different point of view. And I think that that's difficult for her at times. And I think that she is very, very emotional. And I think she feels constantly challenged, and she feels like she's Joan of Arc here, constantly going into battle and hanging in there. But the way she sees herself is death and the wheel. 2 cards came out for her. Death and the wheel, my goodness, like the masculine, undergoing transformation. I feel as though what the 2 of them placed value on a year ago is going to change this year. I mean, their morals and values might not drastically change, but things are going to change. And I think that she feels like her fate is slowly changing. And she also wants to put an end to cycles where they just went nowhere. Clarifying these 2 cards is the World. Sorry, I cannot pick these up. The World, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups. There's mirroring going on here. I think that the feminine is definitely ready for some kind of new cycle to begin. And I think when she peers into her future, she sees her future and her fortune changing. And I think that she sees herself doing very well financially and being very independent and secure. But I think that she's not sure where to go either with the 7 of Cups. Like the masculine, also kind of overwhelmed, but ready for massive transformation here. It's been a long time coming for her. I suspect that what the feminine does for work or with her everyday life, she has to wear a lot of hats, because we saw the Empress and we saw the Queen of Cups and we saw the Queen of Swords and the 10 of Wands. She does it all by herself. She may do this to herself sometimes too. And I think she really is ready for change. And I think that right now she will be in a very dreamy energy about what the next cycle of her life will look like. This is stressful for her. It's not like 8 or 9 of Swords stressful, but the 4 of Swords. Clarifying the 4 of Swords is the 8 of Pentacles, the Wheel, and the Hermit. I think the feminine is stressed out and thinking about like her career or her life path. I think that she's accomplished quite a bit, but she's put that sickle down. Look, she's got a lot of bundles here. And with the 10 of Wands coming out as her overall energy, look, she's done that herself. Alone. She does not ask for help all the time. She's like, I'm good. I've got it. Look at what I'm accomplishing on my own. I think that with the Wheel to the Hermit, she is searching her soul. We have the Wheel twice. I feel like the feminine is a bit of a wild card right now. There's this slow transformation and hope and renewal, and she's hanging in there. And I wonder how long she's going to do this. Like the masculine, she searches her soul quite a bit. I'm seeing 2 people that are older and wiser, leveling up. I see people that have definitely gone past their Saturn return and probably their Uranus opposition, or close to it. I see people in their 30s or 40s, maybe. And I think that she feels like, I think she trusts her own destiny. I do. But at the same time, it stresses her out and she's got to think about it. Like, what am I doing for work? The feminine is undergoing some kind of a transformation. And I think what will change for her is what she does for career. Especially if she wants to come into alignment with a masculine and he's over here. It's like you guys they both want a lot of the same things, I think. Her final outcome is the Magician. Wow, Aries energy. And we are moving into Aries season after Pisces season. And it's the beginning of the astrological new year. And when that happens, I think the feminine is going to pick up her magic wand. This is Aries. This is Gemini. It's Virgo too. She will have the Midas touch. She will begin to make a plan. And I see discovering new power for herself. Clarifying this is the Ace of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, and the High Priestess. Interesting. I feel as though the feminine keeps a lot to herself with the 7 of Swords and the High Priestess. I think she listens to her intuition. I think she keeps her plans to herself too with the 7 of Swords. I also think that she has a lot of distrust at different times with the 7 of Swords. He's looking for lies, you know? Sometimes I think she imagines worst case scenarios, but it's almost like that fuels her to take matters into her own hands and look for new opportunities. Again, I think that this may play out in career for the feminine, but I think she's going to keep it to herself. like keeping her plans to herself. The Four of Swords, she does look a little like stocky from time to time, stressed out, like she can't trust maybe some people around her. Eight of Cups, sometimes she's emotionally avoidant. And then the Eight of Swords, oh, then she overthinks it. And then the Four of Cups, blah, I don't know what to do with myself. But the Knight of Swords, wow, Knight of Swords energy for her too. Both the masculine and the feminine are going to feel an upswing in energy. I feel like the feminine is like, I don't know what to do with myself here. I'm stressed out. I want to leave things in my past, but I overthink the shit out of quite a bit. And I just don't know how I feel. I feel like a boredom off of the feminine. I don't think it has anything to do with the masculine, although it might. She may have to play a waiting game with him since they're both the star. But this is about really deciding. This also may have to do with how you both create abundance. It is a fated partnership, but it's like fine-tuning what you both place value on and your morals. I both see them going in a good direction, both of them. And divine guidance. And with the High Priestess here, divine timing as well. Divine timing and divine guidance. You both have to pause and surrender and see things from different points of view, accept some things about yourselves and each other, and also be calm and patient and determine the purpose moving forward. But both the masculine and the feminine are going in beautiful directions, just working through your own things. Yeah. So that's the beginning of March, divine feminine and masculine connections. I hope this resonates with you guys. And if it does, I hope it helps you. I hope Pisces season serves you well. We're going to get into all the zodiac signs now and see what is going on for each of you individually in each of your signs. This is just your general message for the beginning of the month. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Soma Chandra Collective. Take care of yourselves. I love you guys.